This is Pure FM.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to PureFM, or welcome if you're new. My name is Corey, and today I'm going to be interviewing upcoming artist Will Brown. Hi, Will. How are you?
I am doing great, Corey. I'm glad to be here.
How's your day been going?
It's been going pretty good. The weather in Kansas City right now is very nice and beautiful, but a little cold. The weather in the UK is almost the same as in Kansas City. I think that's why I love the UK so much. One of the reasons why I love it, because you get all of the seasons.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, can I just say that when PureFM were contacted about interviewing you, and the first time we heard your music, we were immediately like, "Yes, we want this person. Love
Oh,
your
wow.
music." Yeah, so we just want to say that we feel very honored to be able to speak to you today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I feel like it's only fair to start this interview by going right back to the start. When did you first fall in love with music?
Oh, I was very young. I would say I'm about 7 years old.
Hmm.
Um, it was a gospel artist that I fell in love with, and I used to mimic him, and then it just grew from there. And on the R&B pop side was Whitney Houston. That was the
Okay.
first voice that I really fell in love with and just extremely cling to. So
Mhm. Do you have
yeah.
like a specific moment where you realize like, yes, this is what I'm meant to do for a career?
Yeah, I was in middle school, and at that time, a lot of my friends knew that I could sing, but I never pushed it. I never did talent shows.
Mhm.
And we were in choir practice, and we were doing Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's a Black national anthem. And my music teacher, she was asking people who wanted to do solos, and nobody raised their hand. And then finally, I was like, I'll try one. And so I did the solo, and my whole entire class like freaked out. And that's when I was like, oh, I think I have something here. And that's how I started. Yeah.
It's good to know that everyone was supporting you when you did the solo, and everyone was like, yes, and having that kind of championing you on in the room. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. And even in the elementary school, I did honors choir, but I never connected to two like, oh, I want to be a singer once I get older. But it wasn't until middle school is when that really happened, when that connection happened. So.
Hmm. When we were listening to your music, we could see that a lot of your themes were about picking yourself up and never giving up on yourself and always looking to improve upon the person that you are. Without getting too personal, well, you can be as personal as you like, but is there a particular reason that your music has those messages? And would you say that you've struggled with your self-confidence in the past?
Yes, because I am a preacher's kid and I come from a conservative Christian family, which is a great thing. However, there are certain expectations that the church has of you. And so I would, instead of being who I was created to be and being able to be my authentic self, I began to craft myself into someone that I wasn't. Also in gospel music as well. Unknowingly, the people who I looked up to, mentors, I wanted to be what they felt like was this great singer or this great person. And so I allowed their ideas and opinions is to create this individual into something that wasn't really true and something that wasn't authentic. And make it seem like it was myself, and I realized it wasn't. And that did a lot of damage. And so I just eventually had to pick up the pieces and change from that. So yeah, so that's where kind of my music comes from, is just my life experiences.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially like still being quite young, only being 22 and being at university, and a lot of our listeners being at university. I think we've had similar experiences where people from teachers, parents, friends try and give us advice or try and mold us into what they think that we should be. And at some point, you kind of just have to find your own.
Yeah.
Would you say
Yeah.
that at a specific age you found your own, or would you say it was when you were in school or once you were an adult that you really kind of broke away from the advice that you didn't want to take on? At
Yeah.
what
I would say once I became an adult, that's when it really hit. Um, and because that's when I also created Brownsville. But it was when I became an adult and I realized what they wanted me to be is not who I was created to be, because I kept having conflicted conflicting things with that. And so yeah, once I became an adult, that's when I started really doing the work, is to kind of undo some of those things and remove the, I don't want to say the fakeness of it, but remove the things that weren't really a part of me. It was just something that I took on, this character that I created, is to please other people. So
Yeah, yeah, I understand you completely. Could you tell our listeners a little bit about Brownsville? You just mentioned it. Could you please tell us more about that?
yeah, so Welcome to Brownsville is a place of inclusion, security, and liberation. And I created this mental space. It was my mental sanctuary that I created, and it was a place that I would escape to whenever I felt like life was just becoming too much. And it started when I was working in corporate America, and I caught myself quitting music at the time, and I I would get song ideas, this, that, and other, and eventually I would stop allowing myself as to be creative in one particular day. I said, you know what? I'm gonna just accept whatever is coming to me. And I left the office and went to my car, and that's when I started writing music. And I started writing songs that, not knowing at the moment, would eventually help me get through some difficult moments in my life. And that's when I found this place, Brownsville. And it was just a place of freedom, hope, like I could be myself. It was this place where I saw my stage and the audience and the whole entire vision of what I wanted my music to be. So that was Brownsville. And now I'm able is to welcome everyone to Brownsville. So whenever you listen to the music, I want you to be able to go to this place and get any type of help that you need from any one of my lyrics.
That's really, really nice. And it's interesting hearing what you're saying about leaving the office and going to your car and just writing. I often find that as a creative writer, you find inspiration and think of like lyrics or poems or stories in the most interesting of places. And it's almost like you need to write it down because like either way,
Yes.
like you think that you're going to remember it and you're like, my brain can remember it.
Yep.
No, nevertheless, you need to write it down.
Yes, 100%. And now for me, like the audio recorder, or
Mhm.
even sometimes if I can't get to the audio recorder quick enough, I'll just do a video
Yeah.
and sing the melody and save it that way. But yeah, I have to have something.
Document it some way, somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here at Pure, we loved your music video for your song Phoenix Rising. Could you tell us a little bit more about the shoot, where it was filmed? Tell us a bit more about the music video.
Yeah. So Phoenix Rise, that was shot in LA. And we wanted to um, tell the story of a guy who was going through life's journey and started from a lower point, which is where you see me with my back up against the wall, and then eventually leading up to the mountaintop and just kind of overlooking the city and pretty much like overlooking everything that your past and everything that you've gone through and saw yourself rising above. And so it was created in LA earlier this year, actually. Yeah, earlier this year. Wow. Seemed like it was so long ago, but it was earlier this summer. And so we shot it in LA, multiple locations, and ended on this beautiful mountain. And at the top of this mountain, there's an actual cross, but we took it out of the scene. But it's this massive cross that sits on top of this particular mountain, and it overlooks the LA. And it's really nice. So yeah. So we wanted to show a guy going through the everyday struggles of life and just kind of moving along through life, and with everything that's going on around him, and still like figuring it out and rising above all of the negative things or the whatever it is that he's gone through and overcame those obstacles and situations. So, and that's what pretty much Phoenix Rise is about. It's There's always, no matter what it is that you're going through, there's always light at the end.
Yeah. And it was a really, really beautiful video to complement a really beautiful song as well. Did
Thank
you
you.
find that when you're shooting videos, do you have to do like any exercises or anything to get yourself like camera ready? I remember being at a youth theatre when I was young, and like whenever we did like a short film or like ever we did a piece of drama for an audience, we'd always have to do like mental exercises and like, right, guys, get yourself in the zone before appearing on camera. Or are you pretty camera confident? Can you just immediately go on camera and just have a great time?
No. But on our way to the different locations, when I would be in my car, that's when I would kind of have my moments, is to like get myself together and get myself prepared. So as soon as I open up the door to step out and start filming, I was ready. Um, yeah, I was ready. Or before the morning of, when I'm washing my face, getting prepared, I'm looking in the mirror, kind of getting into character. But of course, you still go in and out. So there is some preparation to where I have to stop and say, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing now. Focus, focus, and just move on and
Cool.
become that character. Yeah.
Just get that mentally prepared and just get into character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can see that your new single, Better Man, is available to pre-save, and the sneak peeks sound really, really great. Could you please tell Pure where the song will be available to stream?
So Better Man is now out and it's on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, YouTube, anywhere you listen to your music, that's where you can find Better Man.
Mhm.
And it's out currently right now.
We can see on your TikTok that there's a lot of coverage of Better Man, and there's a lot of videos of you pushing for Better Man to reach wider audiences, and you singing it on TikTok and stuff. And a lot of the videos show you singing in a variety of outdoor locations. Could you give us a bit of an idea as to where your next music video will be set?
That's a good question. I've been thinking about that here lately. Um, I haven't decided just yet. I am in Kansas City. I am doing an acoustic live of Better Man, and that's going to be shot in studio. So that would probably be the next video that comes out for Better Man, but an acoustic set, so a little bit slower with background singers. And then maybe next year when I come back to London at the top of, well, I'll be back in London in a few weeks, but maybe the top of next year is when I'll do a different location for Better Man.
Did you find that, just going off the acoustic thing, did you find that when you were growing up and kind of getting into music, that you like to do acoustic sessions with other people? Because we also, when we were looking at your music, we noticed that you've done acoustic before for songs like Mercy and stuff.
Mhm.
Are you a fan of doing acoustic versions of your songs?
Yes, I am. Because it gives a little bit of a different interpretation of the song, and it brings different emotions, especially vocally, from a song when you do it in an acoustic version. And it's kind of more stripped back, so people can really focus on the lyrics and the story. So yeah, I love acoustics. I
Yeah,
love an acoustic version.
it's often more intimate as well, isn't it? It's just you and the music, and like there's
Yeah.
not much distraction from a video or from potential like auto-tune or anything. It's just you, camera, video, and people just get
Yes.
joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we before we go on to the last question that I have for you, which is what a question I like to ask all of my interviewees, we have some questions from the listeners that wanted to ask you a couple of things. The
Oh,
first
perfect.
one is on your link tree, we can see there is a cover of Back to Black by Amy Winehouse on there. Do you have a personal connection to Amy or the song? And did you enjoy the Back to Black movie?
That's a good question. Um, Personal connection. I was introduced to Amy Winehouse years ago. No, I mean, not like formally introduced, just her music. I was on a YouTube rabbit hole at work and the song popped up and I'm like, who is this? I loved her sound. I loved her, how she pronounced certain words. And that's when I fell in love with Amy Winehouse. The Back to Black video, I mean, the Back to Black movie, I did go and see it. I have to be honest, I was disappointed in the movie. I was a little disappointed. Um, I wanted a little more.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I
Okay,
can't.
well, I'm not gonna say anything else then because I don't want to
Okay,
tell. But yeah, I was a little disappointed with Back to Black. But I love Amy Winehouse. I love all of her songs. Like I was a fan and couldn't wait for more.
I'm presuming the Back to Black's your favorite.
Um, it's one of my favorites. My other favorite is me and Mr. Jones, me and my man, I think it is. I think that's the title of the song.
I'm struggling. Oh, I think I know which one you mean, but I'm also struggling to remember.
Yeah. I think it's me and my me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have several others, but that's one of my favorites.
If you could collaborate with any other artist, no matter how big or small, who would it be?
Cat Burns.
Okay.
I would love to collaborate with Cat Burns. Also would love to collaborate with Coldplay.
Oh, okay.
I would love to do a song with uh what is his name? Tom Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like legend. Um, who else? Coldplay. That's it for now. That's all I can think of for now.
Hmm. I know I've asked you a lot of questions about your music videos and stuff, but just to kind of make up a question quickly, just based on that, if you could do a music video with Coldplay, where are you setting it? What's the scene? What's going on?
It has to be a live concert, a live show,
Yeah, yeah,
because the energy, the intensity, the emotions, the feeling, it would be best if it was a live show, live song recorded. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've never seen Coldplay live, but a lot of my friends have, and I've heard it's like absolutely brilliant.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely. I've never been. I've only seen YouTube videos, but the feelings and emotions that comes um, through camera is incredible. So yeah, definitely Coldplay, a live song.
And final listener question before the final question. There's kind of two questions in one here. Some of your videos on your YouTube page reference Netflix, such as your video "When Life Feels Like a Netflix Show." What
Yeah,
is your go-to binge series, and what's one show you wish was still on the air?
Lupin.
Okay,
Have you ever seen Lupin?
I'm gonna be honest. No, I was nodding like I knew. I was gonna be like, "Oh, okay, tell me why." But you beat me to it. What's Lupin?
Lupin is such a great show. It's a French show based in France, and it's about a he's like a high-end burglar, a thief. Yeah, maybe that's not good for me promoting thievery, but it's a really that's one of my binge series. But then I also like documentaries,
Okay.
any type of documentary. I love documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
But Lupin series, that is my absolute favorite. Oh, and I love The Crown. The Crown, at one point in time, it was my binge. Yeah.
Crown. Yeah,
Yes.
that's another show that, as a British person, I feel really ashamed that I haven't seen because it's literally about the royal family. So yeah,
It's good. It's good.
yeah,
But Lupin, you got to check out Lupin. I always tell people, Lupin, it's such a great movie or a great series.
yeah. Well, now you said it. Now I have to check it out.
Yes, it's really good. You may have to put on the caption,
Yeah.
but it's really good.
And this is a question that we like to ask everyone that we interview. What's one message that you could give to anyone listening to this interview right now? What's the message that you want to send to your fans and the listeners and everyone?
The only way out is through. Meaning, no matter what it is that's happening in your life, if you want things to be better, you have to just keep going through it and just knowing and believing that on the other side, something is good and something is greater. And it won't always be this way, but you have to go through if you
Mhm.
want to be on the other side of victory. And defeat is not an option.
What a beautiful message. Well, Brown said it first, never give up, guys.
Never, ever, ever.
Well, thank you very much for your time with this interview. It's been great speaking to you, and
Thank you.
it's been great learning more about you, really. Yeah, we look forward to your Better Man music video and all of your future music that you wish to create.
Perfect. And I have a show February 25th at the Troubadour next year.
Please tell our listeners where the Troubadour is.
The Troubadour, it's in, where is it at? I know it's in London, but I can't think of the street. Edgware Road.
Guys, Google it. Google the Troubadour.
Yes, the Troubadour, London, February 25th, Will Brown.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for this interview. PureFM loves you. Thank you guys for watching this interview. This has been Corey and Will Brown, and we'll catch you on the next one.
This is Pure FM.